Hello, Soldier Boy here, and today we're looking at Daily Race A. So this is a car, you're in the Ferrari, it's a car I've not used very often, or really at all, but they give you the car this time. I had one lap before I started the first race, so I think I did a 140, not brilliant by any means. The car itself can be very difficult to control, that's one thing I did find straight away. I think I'm running traction control 2. A little bit of a warning, the first 2 of the 4 races I'm completely all over the place. Mainly unfamiliarity with the car. I know the track fairly well, it's the car and braking points. Bit difficult I found to start with. It takes a little bit of getting used to. So first corner, I've gone really slow in, I'm trying to stay out of trouble at this point. A bit of argy-bargy between everyone really. We were left with nowhere to go, bit of a sandwich going on. Managed to come out of it fairly unscathed. We're still in 10th, which is where we started. We're going very slow in this corner. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble more than anything else. We started in 10th, we're still in 10th. Couple of penalties. We're staying away from the German there, just trying to avoid him going into us. And we're doing alright, we've got ourselves up a couple of positions. We're okay. Braking for the first corner. I've slightly missed my braking point, but quite a way. So that's going to drop us back. We've come on and, okay, not the best rejoin. And we've now got a penalty for the rejoin. Bumper cars going everywhere there. Yeah, 2-second penalty. Probably deserved. My rejoin wasn't good. But we're going to try and do what we can. We're still in 10th. There's a car on our tail though. We're still maintaining where we started. The one thing I will say at Daily Race A, it's an easy way to tank your safety rating. Missed the braking point again for the corner, which wasn't good. Another 2-second penalty, fully deserved. Completely missed the braking point, hit another car into the barrier. Yeah, my driving was atrocious on that first lap. And then missed the braking point again. That's another 1.5-second penalty. I did consider not including this race in it, but I think in some ways you have to see people's mistakes to see how they then improve, and it's all about braking points, and I'm missing every single one. The one thing I will say, if you use the cones on, like I do have on, as braking markers, ignore them in this. If you brake on them cones, you will not make the corner. You need to brake before the cone. That's the one thing I was finding. So we're down in 11th, although a car has gone off, and there's penalties ahead of us as well. We've missed the braking point again. Like I say, this first race did not go to plan, but then I hadn't practiced with the car bar one lap, and I hadn't really got used to braking points in this track. Hopefully you'll see an improvement in the next couple of races, but we've been down in 12th of 12. We've got to try and make some positions up. Cars have got penalties ahead of us, so that's something. That'll bring them closer to us, and I'm still learning the track. Not braking brilliantly. I think I had brakes to the front -2 as well, which I would advise brakes to the back is better. The rear brakes definitely the thing to do with this car. We're going to set our fastest lap of the race for ourselves, which was 1:42. Not brilliant by any means. Kind of missed the braking point again for the first corner. We're onto the back of the German in 11th though, and the cars ahead have got penalties. So if we can take a good couple of corners here, we've got a chance of gaining some positions. Kind of turned in too early for the corner there. The car itself is very understeery. I've even got traction control on. It was very, very understeery. So you've got to pick your braking points. It's a very quick car, but it's very difficult to control under braking. Something definitely you got to get used to, especially when you're used to cars that stick to the road like glue. That's the problem. And this is the first time I've had a chance to do anything for a week due to work. So it's definitely getting used to things again. A few cars going off there, taking a very wide line. I did the same on the third lap. They're fairly quick races, so if you lose positions for any reason, it's very difficult to make them up quickly. You don't have long. Currently in 12th, we started in 10th. We're just trying to get something out of this, really. Messed the last corner up again, and we're about to start the final lap. We need a miracle to make any positions up here. Set a fast lap of the race of 1:36. That's getting better. I know I'm capable of faster times, admittedly, and better driving. So we're still trying to catch on to the group ahead. Couldn't get this corner right. I couldn't get enough speed going in. Sliding the car round. Kind of sitting on the apex, which isn't the ideal speed to be doing. And we are trailing the cars ahead. We need them to fight a little bit, really, if we're going to gain anything. One has gone off. That will gift us a position. We've missed the corner again, though. But I think we're going to be safe. We're up to 11th. Again, sliding the corner. If the traction control kicks in, you will be going slower, and you've got to try and avoid that. Fully accelerating. We're in 11th. Chances of any other positions, very marginal at this point. Braking for the last. There's a yellow flag ahead, so I don't know if whether someone's had an accident or not. But it doesn't matter, we're too far behind to catch anyone. Although our car's in the pits, so we're going to gain 10th again. So back to where we started, and we're going to finish the race in 10th place. Full disclosure, a poor race. Fully accept I wasn't on form in the slightest. No excuses. Just wasn't in it. It's a confirmation of 10th place. So computer forward finished 11th, so not too bad. So the next race, I was hoping to have a few laps of practicing. I didn't get that. I think I managed one due to a phone call. So I didn't improve my time. I don't even think I managed one. I might not have actually managed to one. So we're going to start at 11th. One car's already dropped out before the start, and the computer thinks we'll finish 10th. So we're going to aim for better this time. A fairly decent start, not brilliant, but fairly decent. First corner, braking very early. I'm trying to avoid trouble. Took it fairly clean around the first. I'm happy with that. Just trying to weave ourselves through the gaggle of cars. We touched 7th as he ghosted. It was a weird one. But we've gained some positions now, up to 8th. We're taking the first corners very conservatively. I'm just trying to be very careful. This is the worst corners right at the start for people hitting each other. So up to 7th. Done well there. I think we hit the braking point perfectly there. We did really well there. We're going to hit the apex and try and go beneath these cars here. We're up to 5th now. We've done really well. Starting in 11th. Up to 5th on the first lap. A couple of cars on the inside. We didn't brake in the right place, but we only lost one position from that. Then we got hit from behind. But that's, if anything, that's boosted us forward. So we're still on 5th tower. We're doing okay. Third has gone off onto the grass. We've joined them, but maintained speed luckily. Braking very late for the last. That's not going to go down too well. We got hit to the inside, which actually helped us take the corner. And we're just going to maintain 5th due to that. He didn't. I don't think he saw us on the inside, and I think that's what caused the hit. but it helped us make the corner, considering we braked very late. Braked a little bit too late for the corner there. We're going to hit the barrier and we're going to get a second half penalty. Yeah, missed the braking point again, aimed at the cones rather than beforehand. So all that hard work on the first lap is massively undone now. Luckily the car in 7th has also got a penalty. We're not going to take our penalty this lap, which is strange as well. I thought we would. Doesn't seem like we will. And the car, while ghosted in front of us, didn't unghost, but it still said we hit it, which was weird. Our fault. I normally try and avoid all ghosted cars, especially when they're taking penalties, in case they unghost in front of you, but it hadn't unghosted. But the penalty hasn't gone up. It's still a second and a half in the barrier. So it's kind of a bit weird how it said the vehicle collision. But anyway, we'll carry on. We're still in 7th. We're in 6th, sorry. Still up from the 11th place start, but we have got to take this penalty. 5th has gone off ahead of us, and he's also got a penalty. Braking for the corner very late again, which isn't ideal. But we're caught back up with 5th, who also has a penalty. We're going to cross the line. Now we've got to try and get braking for the first corner. We left it late again. We've touched 5th and tried to turn in. That was poor by myself. That was my fault completely. And we're going to gain more penalty. Another second. Completely my fault. I don't know what I was playing at, to be honest. Need to brake earlier on the first. A little bit of a hit by 7th there as he forces his way round. We're going to take a penalty anyway, so it's not really going to matter. We're going to drop down now. We're in 8th. So all that hard work, we're still up from where we started. We started in 11th. But all that hard work we did in that first lap up to 5th was just undone. This is our own fault. Poor driving on my part. We're on the tail of 7th. There is still a chance of catching up here. Felt like we got a better run out of the corners there. A little bit wary of this corner. He doesn't even look to see if we're there, which causes us to go massively offline, but managed to hold it together. Need to get the braking for the last right, which I didn't. I braked very late. Another car braked later than us, strangely, and went straight past, but then didn't really make the corner. We're now competing with the German for 7th as we approach the start of the last lap. So we've got to try and take 7th now. There is a car on our inside as well, so we're going to brake a little bit early and try and avoid them. Saigar trying to get through. We catch him as he turns in to our line. So a little bit of argy-bargy between all of us there. And this is the competition for 7th really. We're not really going to get much more than this unless we'll massively go off. 7th has now gone onto the grass. He's going to spin himself on really wide. We're going to avoid Saigar by braking a little bit more into the corner, which wasn't ideal, so it did drop us back. We're still in 8th, 3 places up from where we started. We're going to try and take him on the inside now. We didn't get the best exit. Again, I had to back off because I didn't want to hit him. So, in avoiding him, I've lost a little bit of time to him. We had a look at the inside, but he closed the door very quickly. Still in 8th. Still a gain, so it's not too bad. It's better than the first race. The penalties killed us, and poor driving didn't do us any favours. Braking late again for the last. Got to brake early in that. I found the shadow of the billboard across the top was the ideal braking point there. And we're going to cross the line, 8th place. So a gain of 3 positions. But penalties destroyed our race. Their SR is dropping dramatically. my advice, be very careful in the first few corners. That's the big thing. So we're going to move on to race 3 after confirmation of 8th place. So this is race number 3. You notice I change the colour for every race I do. Just saying a little bit. I found quite funny. Just trying to vary the colours up. Ideally the Ferrari should be red, but just wanted to vary it up. So we had some practice laps this time while I was waiting for race start. I think we had about 9 minutes. And we gained a really good time. So we qualified in 4th, which is really good. Traction control still on 2. Braking is now to the rear +2. As we approach the first corner. We're going to back off massively. I'm just being very careful. We've lost 4th, but that's okay. One car goes wide. A little bit of coming together ahead of us. A few bumps from behind as well. But yeah, I've just been very conservative in that first corner. Kind of turned in too early. We're holding it together. We're still in 5th. Took the corner fairly well. Traction control 2 was kind of... I tried it on 1 a few times and I just couldn't hold the car, so I kept it on 2, which does slow me down now, coming out of the corners. And I've missed my braking point. Completely missed it. So the good qualifying is now completely undone. We're going to join back in 10th. Yeah, no excuses. Just missed the braking point completely. So we're now chasing down 9th. Car in 11th squeezes himself past us. A bit of door rubbing on his way past. Not the cleanest overtake. And now I'm dealing with 2 cars of penalties. We're now back in last, but 11th goes off and into the barrier, so we're going to take that. 10th goes into the barrier on the left and spins, so we're going to take that as well. So we're up to 10th. Braked early for the last this time, so we actually took the corner fairly well. But we've got a lot of making up to do if we're going to gain anything from this race. Just started to click the braking points now, apart from missing that one. But yeah, managed to figure out the right braking points for most of them. So this is all about closing the gap now to 9th. If we're going to make anything up. There is penalties ahead, so that will help close some of the gap. Still turning a little bit too early for the corner. But the difference in the first 2 races to this one is immense in my eyes. Penalty's been taken ahead, so 9th has dropped back towards us. Hit the braking point this time, which was better. And caught right up behind 9th. Better driving now. Definitely a lot better. Holding the car well. You can see 9th hasn't got traction control on. You can tell that just by the way the car was fishtailing. 8th has now got a penalty. So that will drop them towards us as well. We're trying to back off a little bit just to avoid 9th, but we're taking the position. We're braking for the corner. One car was about to hit the barrier and then quit. 9th has hit us twice. We're up to 8th though because the car quitting. That was ahead and missed the corner. So on to the 3rd lap. We're in 8th place. It's a 4 position loss on the start, which is not brilliant. But due to us missing the braking point, that's what happens. So can we chase down 7th? That's the question. There is a group of them up there, 3 or 4 cars. We can go onto the back of them. That will help. But again, there's not many laps, so and the lap's over pretty quickly. There is not much time to make up. You need mistakes to happen and to be completely clean yourself. We're a little bit wide on exit. Hit the braking point nicely. I think they are fighting ahead because they are slowing down compared to us. We are catching ever so slightly. Not a bad couple of corners really, fairly well. We're not really making inroads. If anything, now they're getting away from us. Braking for the last, we need a good corner. Tried to get on the acceleration early there. So approaching the end of lap 3, onto lap 4, on the last lap. Braking well for the first. Can we chase down 7 now? They're a little bit ahead, it's going to be difficult. Still trying to close them down. A little bit slow out the corner, but we're okay. We're not really making any inroads, so that's the only downside at this point. But then we're just going to finish the race now. We lost 4 positions. There's nothing we can really do. I think there's a penalty ahead for one of the cars, but it's going to be a bit too little too late, I think. We're a little bit too far away. Although 6th has messed up, 7th, sorry, has messed up, he changed position. Messed up the last corner. I don't think we're going to be close enough for the penalty to help us, depending on how big the penalty is. As we're going to cross the line in 8th place. And actually we were close enough for the penalty to help us, so we actually move up to 7th. And that was our first race in daily race A without a penalty. That will help the old safety rating there. So we lost 3 places overall in the race. We were expected to finish 11th. Although I was still losing driver rating, so even though I thought we'd finish 11th and finishing 7th, we didn't gain any safety rating. In fact, we lost some driver rating. Sorry. So 4th race, last race. Again, improved my qualifying time. My safety rating is on B, completely tanked. But improve my qualifying time and start 4th once more. Can we actually convert this one to a decent finish? 2nd is very slow out of the blocks, which meant I had to try and take avoiding action just in case I went in the back of him. That didn't help my start. Other than that, I did go right. A couple of pushes from behind now. We're going to get punted off the track, which is going to mess up our start completely, as we drop right back down the pecking order. The Oscar Tango doesn't care who he's hitting or where he's going by the looks of things. We need to clear some of these cars as quickly as we can. And then we get hit as the yellow car decides to try and take a position. So it's going to drop us down, but then the yellow car's gone off, so that's okay. We're okay. We're up to 9th. If it wasn't for being hit off at the first corner, it would have been alright. But it's now a playing catch-up game. Good run in the corner there. We're going to give 8th a little bit of a bump there. She didn't mean to do. He was just a lot slower. And we're going to gain a 4-second penalty for that. I do not think that was deserved in the slightest, as a few cars go off there. We only gave him a little bit of a bump from behind. I did not think that was deserving a 4-second penalty. We're up to 7th. That's kind of screwed my race though. 6th is a 3-second penalty. But yeah, for what I did, that was definitely not deserving of 4 seconds at all. Braking for the first. We've slightly missed the braking point, but we've held it fairly well. We're up to 6th now, but this 4 seconds is going to kill us. That's going to allow 3rd, 4th and 5th to pull away. It's not a good penalty to have. I do not think it was deserved, but we've just got to carry on. Here's our long penalty. And actually, we didn't lose a position. We just lost a position as we unghost. I was highly expecting us to lose a lot more than that. We didn't, though, luckily. So now we've got to chase down 6th. It looks like the race is now for 6th. Just trying to hold the car together. Can we get close enough to manage to overtake? That's the question. Brake underneath the billboard for the last corner. 6th went a little bit slow on the corner there. We've got to try and catch on a bit more though. That wasn't really close enough to take advantage. To approach the 3rd lap. He's gone very wide into 1st, but I didn't get the best line in. 6th is going to maintain their position. We're going to try and take him. I've backed off to avoid hitting him on the side again. I could have been a little bit more aggressive maybe, but I didn't want to hit him. We did a 4-second penalty for something that I didn't feel deserved a 4-second penalty. 6th has gone a little bit wide on exit, but he's going to maintain position. Braking for the next. And probably brake a little bit too hard. I kind of far too slow into the corner. We've still got a chance though. We are just behind 6th. We've still got a chance of catching him at this point. He seemed to be a lot quicker through that section than I was. Which enabled him to open up a little bit of a gap. Last corner of this lap. Seemed to take it fairly nicely. We weren't too bad either. Probably a little bit late on the acceleration. We're still trying to reach 6th now. Last lap. We set a fastest lap of the race last lap as well. First, he goes very, very wide again in turn 1. But we're not close enough to take any advantage. We go a little bit wide into turn 2. Good, I hope he makes a mistake now. See if we can get a little bit closer. A little bit slow into the corner, skidded a little bit, which definitely slowed us down. Can we get? We need these two to battle and mess themselves up. There's a little bit of argy-bargy going ahead. 5th and 6th are swap positions, so we now need to catch German in 6th. He has dropped down massively, so there's a chance he's made mistakes. Not going off track, I don't think. Braking for the last. It's all depend on this corner. If he takes it well, which he has, we're not going to catch him. Not even slipstream on the straight. And there we go. End of the race. 7th place. So overall, not bad. Not a bad track to use. Not a bad car. Lack of practice with that car is never a good thing. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Not my best driving by any means, but still fun. And confirmation of 7th place. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.